Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the monthly for March 2018. Firstly, I'd like to apologize for very little content last month. That's because, as you would know if you watched my February monthly, I went on a cruise ship. It was alright. I don't know if you can tell, but built for cold weather, we were in the Pacific, it was pretty hot. But hey, it was good fun anyway. But now we're back, and yes, that title is a pun. We're going to be marching forward in March.
It's just so unfunny.
So this month I plan on making the usual stuff, but I also would like to make some Kingdom Come Deliverance, because I wasn't anticipating it at all, really. And then I played it on Sunday for 14 hours straight, and I was like, this is pretty good actually, so yeah. I'm going to make some Kingdom Come Deliverance guides. And along with that, the normal Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, whatever stuff. And yes, the Skyrim CCC for Solstheim will be done this month. I said that last month, but I was away for half of last month, so it doesn't really count, eh? So that's what's going to be coming, so let's get into the Q&A now. And if you do have any questions you want me to answer, leave the question down in the comments below and might get to it. So the first question, what are your thoughts on Death Grips? That's a band that I had to look up, and it was half cool, half unlistenable. Who was the friend from the letter from a friend? Notes. The one that shows you the way to the words of power. Do you think they could have gone more in depth with the notes? I've got a theory about this, and I do want to make a detective video about it. It might take a long while, because to get a lot of the notes, you need to be at different stages in the main quests, which basically just means to set up the video, I need to play for 20 hours. But there is a video for that coming eventually with a pretty good conclusion. The Elder Scrolls mystery, when will you do more about than? If you mean the detective series, well, I put up one yesterday. Wrong. Starfield is being developed by Game Studios. It's one of the big two releases they're working on. Pete Hines practically confirmed it. But he didn't confirm it, did he? It could very well be one of the two big releases, but we don't know that. That name was trademarked by Bethesda Softworks, not Bethesda Game Studios, so it could be something belonging to any of the studios that Bethesda Softworks publishes. What do you want to see in the Elder Scrolls 6? I want them to, I just want them to kind of stick to the lore. I want them to do it in a way where they respect the lore and take care of it properly, but then also take it beyond what we thought it was as well. That would be cool. Probably not going to happen, probably impossible, but that's what I want. Wow, you know Dashstar? Awesome. I do know Dashstar. There's a photo of he and I somewhere at E3 last year. If I can find it, I'll put it up. Any chances at you doing a lore video on the Frost Giants when you get back from your holiday? I can't find any solid lore mentioning their origin, and considering that the normal giants have their own lore, it would make sense that there's a bit of lore about that of them in specific. Probably the Giants and Frost Giants video would be together. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't looked into it. I'll do a lore video on everything eventually. Hey Camel, what is your favorite playable race in the Elder Scrolls? Either Nords or Dark Elves. Dark Elves because they have the most fleshed out lore, definitely. Why do they have the most fleshed out lore? Because the game Morrowind was far superior. What do you think of the idea that Starfield is the name of a new engine? I don't know, they never made fusses about everyone seems to think everything's an engine. One of the two new big projects is an engine. They've never done that before, they never made a fuss about an engine. It's dude, what if one of their new projects is their coding system? It's what? Why would they do that? Your logic of hot and cold holds true. It's minus 20 degrees here in Maine. I actually want to visit Maine, it looks sick. You're quite good with words. Do you or have you ever considered writing of any other form? Not really, I write scripts for all my videos, so I do a lot of writing. I've one up to you, Camel. I started playing the Elder Scrolls when I was between the ages of 8 and 10, Morrowind of course, and I'm only 17 now. No one else my age has played it. Well, hopefully with Skywind coming out, check it out. Everyone and your friends will be able to play Morrowind finally. Since this is your full-time job, do you have a lot of fun doing this, or do you do it for us? Do you face problems with YouTube demobilization? I am so demobilized from this. Yeah, no, I actually find it quite fun. Luckily, it's a very creative field, so every day I'm basically working on something, creating something. Usually in a few days I'll have a finished product, so it's the end's always really in sight, which keeps me motivated. But no, it is fun. If I didn't work in a creative field, I think I'd go absolutely mental. I think a lot of people like that. I think most people are creative and they, end up in an office job and they just want to kill themselves. So luckily, creating things is my job and it's good fun. No questions, just want to say thanks for the awesome videos. Thank you, Krista. When you really need a break from Skyrim and don't want to play anymore, what do? That doesn't really happen, but whenever I'm like take a break from editing or something like that, I'll either play like Overwatch and then get killed instantly and be like, oh fuck this, I'm going back to Skyrim. Hearthstone's a good one, World of Warcraft, that's fun. But for the most part, it's other gaming stuff really. How long does it take you to make your Easter egg videos? Example, Oblivion/Skyrim Redux. The Oblivion one took like 6 months of researching on and off to get all the information because Oblivion's a lot less documented than Skyrim is, so it was a lot harder to find stuff out. The new Skyrim one took about 3 weeks, which was just like back-to-back 16-hour days, 7 days a week. It was brutal making that, but it's a damn good video. What are your favorite mods for Skyrim, retextures, followers, EMBs, etc.? Any 4K texture stuff. This person called CC, I can't remember what it stands for. If you type in CC on the Nexus, all of their retexture stuff, I use all that. It's fucking gorgeous. One mod that I would suggest for everyone is enhanced lights and effects. It's so damn pretty. Everyone says, dude, what EMB is that? I'm like, it's not an EMB, dude. This has not much of an impact on your system, and it still looks fucking delicious. If Elder Scrolls 6 was as bad as The Last Jedi, that's impossible! Would you stop your channel? No, I don't think so. Q&A, hey Camel, would you like it if the Elder Scrolls 6 was set in a new open world?
What, are you retarded? That won't work!
Or would you like it if it stayed as it was it? Yes, stay as it was. There's no reason to set the Elder Scrolls in a new world. This world they've been building up for like 26 years. More than half of it is unseen, unexplored. So yeah, stick where it is, please. What is your favorite whiskey? I don't like whiskey or bourbon or any of that shit. However, Fireball whiskey is fucking delicious. Your opinion on The Last Jedi is fine, but a little too nerdy for my tastes. Okay. Nerds are the worst. Like, remember when you were a kid and you could just enjoy something? No, don't be a nerd, just enjoy things. Here, have this shit sandwich, just enjoy it. Don't be a nerd about the shit sandwich, just enjoy the shit sandwich. The Last Jedi is shit. It's shit, it's just a shit movie. You know when people watch a movie, they're like, dude, that was sick. And you're like, do you fucking watch this? It's terrible.
Do you have to be so negative, do you? You have to be so cynical? I'm not cynical. This is fucking retarded.
Don't be a nerd. Without elitism, we just have shit. Be elite. Always be elite. Sausage roll or meat pie, Ladsky? I would go with sausage roll. Let's see. Okay. Meat pie, you bite into it, and it like fucking folds in half and gets all awkward and wet and like shit's falling out of it. And also the center of a meat pie is the same temperature as the sun. I've got a meat pie from 1994 that I'm still waiting to fucking cool down. However, a sausage roll, it's pretty long. It's consistent temperature. And when you bite it, it doesn't spew molten meat onto you. So, sausage roll. Can you do a lore/detective video on the infamous Slode and their homeland Thras? And I love your videos, very creative. Thank you very much. And yes, however, with all lore videos, I kind of want to wait until the Slode are explored more in game, just so we can, have a bit more lore to work with and some footage as well. Speedo or thong? Speedos for me, thongs for the ladies. Hey Camel, what do you like to do for fun? You've mentioned Jinderbone/Threadbow in previous videos. Do you ski? I don't ski. My mother, dearest mother, she hates the cold. Like, it's 25 degrees Celsius, which is like, I don't know. I'm gonna say 85 Fahrenheit. I've made that up. It's 77, it's not 85. So because of that, in normal temperature, she's freezing to death. Going to the snow was just not a holiday option ever. So I skied once with school, and you're 10 years old with a bunch of your friends in the snow is not really an actual skiing experience at all. But Jinderbone Threadbow, we go down there in the summer, occasionally in camp. And what do I do in my free time? Usually play other games, go out with friends, eat, drink, punch polar bears.
Tall reached up and there was a polar bear. And I just looked at him, my instinct straight away, yeah! Smash straight in his face!
Camel, how many people do you have to suck the souls out of just to be that beautiful? Oh, thanks. Only yourself. That's all. I have no soul left. Camel, didn't Bethesda have something to do with Doom? Bethesda Softworks published Doom, and Bethesda Softworks is not Bethesda Game Studios. Camel, do you use Fudge Muppets builds when you play Skyrim or Fallout? If so, which build do you have the most fun with? I don't use builds. I just have, for all of my videos, I just have a character that goes straight into God mode Most of the time, the artificial intelligence and shit of all the AI is off. I'm there to get cinematic footage. I'm not there to play the game. However, when I do make a weapon guide, for example, I'll kind of think of the coolest type of person for that weapon to use. Like with Oriel's bow, I downloaded a mod that let me use Falma as a playable race, the Snow Elves. Made a female Snow Elf, put her in all elven armor, looked like some psycho elf Falma archer chick. So that's probably as close as I get to builds. I build a character that I think suits the type of weapon. But apart from that, when I get a game, I just play like the most meta build possible. But in terms of role-playing and stuff, I've never done that. Never done that in my life. Hey Camel, I'll watch any Fallout videos you put out. I've seen every Oxhorn video for the last 2 years. I can add a few videos to the weekly list. Alright, okay. I might make some Fallout videos. What music do you use in your detective series? I think the track is called... No, what is it called? It's from the Morrowind soundtrack. It's like the third last song. I can't remember what it's called. Has anything ever freaked/creeped you out while playing an Elder Scrolls game? Like sometimes when the Chorus hunters suddenly pop out of their cocoons, they freak the shit out of me. I'm sure that happens sometimes when I'm making, say, a weapon guide and I'm running around killing people. I don't need to hear the game audio, so I'll just put my iPod in and listen to like Lamb of God or some shit. But because I can't hear the game audio, I'll just be running through the forest and turn around and a bear's like, I'm like, shit. The one time I do remember in Oblivion, I cleared this cave out. I'd been walking around this cave after it had been cleared for about 10 minutes. And then I'm like, sweet, time to leave. And I turn around and a zombie was like, and I did have the game audio on and it wasn't making noises, dude. And I fucking shit me pants. What's your favorite Mayhem album that's not De Mysterious Dom Santanis? And favorite Behemoth song? Favorite Behemoth song would probably be Blow Your Trumpets, Gabrielle. And favorite Mayhem album would be Auto Ad KO, I think. I want lots of piercings and tattoos options in Bethesda's next game. More character creation equals better. Yes. If you could somehow scan your face so your Elder Scrolls 6 character looked exactly like you, would you? And do you think most people would enjoy being able to do that? That's actually pretty cool. I think in a lot of people's first playthroughs, they just play them. So to be able to do that would be pretty cool. What are your PC specs? There's a lot of specs going on in there, but 6700K Skylake CPU. We've got a 1080 GTX G1 Gaming Edition. What else do you need to know? RAM, 64 gigabytes of what is it? It's like 3655 megahertz RAM, some shit, I can't remember. It's very fast RAM and there's a lot of it. I've got a SwiftTech cooling thing on the CPU. I've got like 20 hard drives in there and the operating system is Windows 7 64-bit Professional Edition. Favorite comic book superhero and why? Enjoy your holiday. I actually don't like superheroes or comic books at all. A very uncommon taste for modern day nerds or gamers or YouTubers, whatever, but never gave a fuck about superheroes. The one superhero movie I did thoroughly enjoy would be Watchmen, because it's rated R and it's fucking brutal. And it's got really good writing and really good characters. It's not a fucking 14-year-old in spandex shooting cobwebs out of his dick. Hey Camel, do you watch Game of Thrones and what's the best episode? Yes, I do, and the best episode, probably the Mountain versus the Viper. That was sick.
And do you know why I've come all the way to this stinking shit pile of a city? For you?
I already knew what was going to happen, and I was still shitting myself that entire scene. Hey Camel, I love your content and I want to help you out in any way I can. Question for you, do you receive more revenue if we watch the entire advertisement versus if we press the skip button on an ad? Or do you get paid the same either way? Are you more likely to be monetized if we don't skip the ads? Keep the puns flowing. I'm not sure. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say no. I think by the time an ad gets to a skippable point, I've got whatever revenue I was going to get from that ad anyway. But I do know this, YouTube Red revenue is like 20 times that of ad revenue. YouTube Red, if you don't know what it is, you pay, I think it's $5 a month, and it just removes all ads from videos for you. But it also then pays the content creators that you're watching. So instead of watching ads to give them money, you're basically just giving YouTube $5 a month, and then they take that $5 and distribute it amongst the channels you've watched that month. So you don't have to watch ads, you don't have to use ad block, and you're still supporting the content creators that you're watching. It also tells us normal views and then YouTube Red views, and then it separates our revenue into normal ad views and YouTube Red views. And the view to revenue ratio is like literally 20 times higher with YouTube Red revenue. So if you actually are interested in supporting YouTube content creators, get YouTube Red, and you won't have to watch ads anymore. And you will be supporting people way more than you would be by watching ads. Hey Camel, do you think it's possible we hear from the new medium in the next Elder Scrolls? Also, could you consider making a video about the Brass God? I'm sure a lot of us would love to hear your thoughts on the matter. Well, the new medium, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure in Daggerfall it deleted itself from existence. So seeing it again, probably not. But then again, if it can delete itself from existence, I'm sure somehow it can undelete itself from existence. And yes, I would make a video on anything. Who would win a fight, Deathbrand or Velexane, with chips? Probably Velexane. Rhinos or hippos? Rhinos versus hippos? Like, which do I prefer, or what's the outcome if they fight? I think I prefer rhinos. And if they were to fight, I would imagine, I think a rhino would win. Maybe, I don't know. That's just too weird for me to think about. Hey Camel, what's your favorite Beatles album? What the hell is it called? The Mystical Tour something? The Magical Mystery Tour, that one. For your next Q&A might be a vague question, but what are your thoughts, if any, on Scotland, and would you visit? Scotland's pretty cool. I have visited it. Where did I go? Edinburgh was pretty cool. Stayed at Loch Ness, that was pretty sick, and we went to the Isle of Skye, which was, again, pretty cool. May your road lead to warm sands. Well, fucking everywhere in Australia leads to warm sands. 2 questions here. Do you think we'll see any other were creatures in the Elder Scrolls 6, like were lions or were bats? Do you think one of Bethesda's mystery projects has anything to do with VR? No. VR is a platform now. It's not a, like, it's expected. It's like, do you think one of Bethesda's new projects is the PS4 port? No. It's just a version of the game. It's not a separate project that they're working on. And do you think we'll, the were creatures, I do hope so, because there are other were creatures in different regions of Tamriel, like in High Rock there's were boars, in Valenwood there's were vultures, shit like that. So I would like to see the appropriate were creatures in the appropriate zones. That is, if they put them in, which they fucking better. Hey, is it just a coincidence that you look like Post Malone and both of you play Skyrim? PS, hope you have a good cruise.
Is this just a coincidence? Yes. Because
of the large wait until the Elder Scrolls 6, have you ever considered branching out to other games on the channel? Yeah, I want to make some Kingdom Come Deliverance, and there's also going to be 2 other Bethesda Game Studios games before the Elder Scrolls 6, so we'll have those to make content on. And hopefully we'll get an Obsidian RPG in there, first-person RPG. Do you like Nightwish? You look a bit like the Keys player. Greetings from Northumbria. Yeah, no. I mean, I haven't listened to Nightwish since I was like 15 and playing World of Warcraft, but yeah, Nightwish is Nightwish. So you're rich? How else could you afford the cruise? Well, it was paid for by my family because they... secondly, it depends what your definition of rich is. To me, rich is being able to pay for a multi-million-dollar house straight out without any loans or mortgages. That's rich. And that's what I'm fucking aiming for. The cruise. Yeah, the cruise costs, I mean, dude, most of the demographic was people in less fortunate financial positions than most of my family. What I'm trying to say is that cruise ships are a hub of really Darrow bogans. So if they can afford it, you don't have to be rich whatsoever. I think one of Bethesda's newest IPs will be Game of Thrones. What do you think? That's very likely. They were offered to make a Game of Thrones game when they were making Skyrim. Yes, in my Elder Scrolls 6 release date video, I basically figured out that either this year or next year are 2 very likely times for Bethesda Game Studios to release a new game. So this year is very possible for them to release a new game. Game of Thrones is ending this year. which is like, get on the fucking hype merch train while it exists. If they're going to release a game, it's going to be this year. And the relationship between Bethesda and the Game of Thrones dudes exists already, so it's like, if you only got to choose one, what mod can't you play without in Skyrim? The unofficial patch. What's the thing in Skyrim that annoys you the most? Annoys me the most in Skyrim. The forests aren't thick enough. What do you think Todd Howard meant when he said he was having a tech issue keeping Elder Scrolls 6 from being in development? Does anyone know? I've thought about this. It's not VR. Again, that's just a platform thing. It's not like a giant hurdle. They're releasing all of their games already with VR. VR's not a hurdle for them. I actually want to make a video about this, but it's a very strange thing to say. Because Todd Howard said, if I told you what we were planning, your response would be, whoa, it doesn't sound like the technology exists to do that. Which is a fucking weird thing to say. Like, what the what, a USB stick you fucking shove in your ear and you play it in your head? That's the kind of thing he would have to say to get that response, you know what I mean? Okay, Camel, who did you murder? Camelworks, the new Star Wars was shit. Hope they don't fuck up the next one. They're going to fuck up the next one. It's been Disneyfied. The Solo one, I agree with Shapiro on the Solo one.
They did a preview for Solo. No, just no no's. Han Solo has the coolest entry in film history. Now you want the backstory? Like, I don't need the backstory.
There's the Q&A. If you do have any questions you would like me to answer, leave them down in the comments below. Might get to it, might not. Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, and Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming this month as we march forward. So thanks very much for watching. I gotta scoot to the store and go to James Turner's house. So, fuck. I need to go pretty much right now. I'll see you later.